stream before this, and just didn't have my information up there. I was sloppy as shit. I said, you know what? No, I need to restart this. So here we go. So okay, I'm back. So I'm up here today to tell you that the latest, what's happening in politically with Japan. Now, I did a video a few days ago when I was talking about Sanae Takaichi as being the first woman to head the Liberal Democratic Party, and which could possibly be the first lady leader in the history of Japan. I'm talking in the history. There's never been a woman monarch in power. There's never been a woman lady shogun. From the 30,000 years ago that I studied Japanese history, I've never seen a woman in power in Japan. So this will be the first time. However, last night there was a monkey wrench thrown in the system. So, I now have that article on that. So right now, and then there it is. And I think I got the numbers right here. So I really want you guys. Yes, thank you, Nikkei. Okay, Nikkei Asia, because I pay for that. I pay money for that, and every year, and I'm glad they got the numbers. So here you go. So here's what's going on. So in Japan, we have two houses. We have an upper house and a lower house. Okay, and the looking at the lower house numbers, the Liberal Democratic Party, which is the largest party in both houses, in the lower house, which is really powerful, they have 196 seats. In the upper house, they have 100. The group that just pulled out last night, Komeito just decided not to support them. So the Komeito has 24 seats. So normally together, LDP with their coalition group that's going to help them out, before Komeito pulled out yesterday, they had 220 out of 465, right? Now, the next biggest party, the Constitutional Democratic Party, run by Mr. Noda, has 148 seats in the lower house. And after that, the Japan Innovation Party has 35. There it is. The Democratic Party for the People, they have 27 seats, and the remaining parties have 35. Now, here is what Mr. Noda was saying in this other article that I got to open up right now. Okay, he is the main opposition party because they have 148 seats compared to 196 for the LDP. And keep in mind, the LDP before this summer, they had a majority of the seats. So automatically, if you're the president of the LDP, you're going to be prime minister of Japan. And that's what we thought was going to happen a few days ago. But now, like I said, things have been thrown in the fray. The main opposition, Constitutional Democratic Party of Japan, they are now saying that they are seeking to back a unified candidate with other opposition parties to block the election of Liberal Democratic Party President Sanae Takaichi as prime minister in the parliament, because the parliament election is coming up on the 20th. So see, she's the president of the Liberal Democratic Party, but now parliament's got to vote on this the 20th of October. See? So now, it appeared that she would have been a lock on becoming Japan's next leader after she became the first one to win the LDP. But Komeito went ahead and they've been connected with the LDP. They've been working with the LDP for the last 26 years. Decided at the last minute to pull out, and the reason why they said they're doing this is because they are really concerned about the political funding situation. So Komeito said that they're pulling out, and I'm going to tell you why. The Komeito leader, Tetsuo Saito, Mr. Saito, told Ms. Takaichi of the decision at a meeting they had in Parliament. He said, "We're scrapping the coalition agreement." This is all quotes. "We're scratching the coalition agreement with the LDP and bringing an end to our relationship," unquote. He said this at a news conference after the meeting, right? And I guess we met with them, and he was going to see if they can clean up their act, right, on the political funding situation. But he said they can't write her name and they cannot vote for her at this time. See, because they said that the LDP has always said that they would consider Komeito's proposal, right? So to change out the Komeito brought its proposal for strengthening regulations on corporate and group donations to parties and asked Takaichi to decide whether or not to accept it on the spot. So they said, will you accept this on the spot to go ahead and change this up? And she said she told Saito that she needed to consult with the other LDP officials. And then Komeito said that this is not a concrete enough answer, so they decided to pull out because they felt like she was going to try to buy some time just to get the votes and then never make any changes. See, they want change. So what they're saying, so the reason why they're doing this right now, because they feel like this is the best opportunity for them to create change, right? Now, so they lost 24 seats that were to support them, right? They lost those seats. So now Mr. Noda is saying that he wants to, put together a coalition that can, that can pretty much be the prime minister instead of Takaichi. Now there is a guy out there because the CDP holds 148 of the 465 seats in Japan's legislature. But there's a guy out there, his name is Mr. Tamaki. He is the leader of the, and I'm going to bring that up right now because I got the numbers, thank you, and I got the name of it, which is nice. He is a leader of the Democratic Party for the People, which has 27 seats, but he's very popular. So even if you put those 27 seats with the 148, right, of the Constitutional Democratic Party, it's not enough to override the LDP. But though there's a big party out there, the Japan Innovation Party, that if you added that to it, now you can override it. See what I'm saying? So if they can get the remaining parties, and if they can get this DPP on board with them, the CDP, then they will be able to put Tamaki in power as the next prime minister. And like I said, he's very popular here in Japan. He had an affair going on, I don't know, it was last year. And quite frankly, my wife told me about it, and I said, look, I don't give a crap about an affair he had. I just want to know how he's going to run the government. That's all I care about. And I think most people are in agreement with me. So she now has a chance not to be a prime minister. See? So, I was kind of juiced up because I wanted to see a woman run the government only because I like her policies, not only because, not because she's a woman, because I like her policies. She's a traditionalist, and I felt like she's the kind of woman that could stand up to Trump, because Trump doesn't do well with women, as we know, right? And especially women in power. So, whether she's a woman or not, great. But I just thought that being a woman would spark the Japanese people, because right now Japanese people need a flame. They need a spark to get them back on track, to get them pumped up. That's the thing. They don't seem to be pumped up. So they need somebody that's going to come in there and say, hey, look, I got this. We got this. We can do this. And that's why I was like, okay, let's get this lady up in there. But like I said, Komeito dropped the bomb last night. And I remember going on, I was watching on YouTube and I made a comment in Japanese. I don't respect the Komeito party for what they did, but I know why they did what they did. I just didn't think that it was the right time to do it. But I got very little say in that because I'm not a Japanese citizen, so I'm not able to vote in Japan. And my wife, she votes all the time, but she never tells me who she votes for because, and just like her folks, her mother votes and her daddy votes all the time. They don't talk to each other about who they vote for because in Japan, they don't talk politics. It's not like in the States where people sitting down and next your cousin's like, I don't want to talk to you, man. We ain't talking no more because of this, that, the other. When you should be respecting each other for what they believe in, who they're going to vote for. That's why in Japan, they don't discuss politics because they don't need to, have people, getting into disagreement with each other. So that's why they don't do it. So I just want to bring that up. Yeah. So that's what's up. Also, I wanted to bring up, too, and I'll keep you guys updated on that political situation here. There's a big thing going on right now with people now starting to talk on YouTube about Japanese being racist. In fact, this, I guess he looked like he was from either India or Nepal or somewhere. He said he was sitting in a restaurant the other day, in the Tokyo area, and some guy came to him and said, "Hey man, why don't you just go back to your country? Get out of here and go back to your country." So Japanese are coming up to people telling them that. Now, I don't get that feeling in Japan. I don't get that anti-foreigner sentiment toward me. I if I did get it, I would be kind of surprised because Japanese usually treat blacks really well, regardless. We seem to fly under the radar, if so to speak, and we don't get all involved in all the bullshit. So I don't think that they would come up to me and say, "Hey, why don't you go back to your country?" And if they did, here's what I would tell them. And I can tell people stuff, right? Here's what I would tell them. I would say, "Look, guys, you want me to go back to my country? Okay. Let me put it this way. Like I said, and like I tell them, like I tell you guys. So you don't think I'm contributing to Japanese society, but yet I put 30 contractors to work in Japan on my house. That means I paid 30 different firms with families and then people working for them, and they got kids and they're feeding their kids off of something that I put into play. I paid my health care from my family. I paid property tax. I paid forestry taxes. I paid I pay auto taxes, auto insurance. I'm pumping a lot of money into the Japanese society. I had a house built. So what do you think about that? That would always be my comeback to the Japanese person that walks to me and says, "You want to go home?" And then I say, "And by the way, I brought two children here, which you guys seem to not have enough of, to Japan. So should I take my children back to where I brought them from, and me and my wife out of here, and stop spending money in Japan and stop paying taxes? What do you think I should do?" And see what they say. Because not just me, a lot of us foreigners are contributing to Japan. Foreigners are getting a bad rap here because the tourists are showing up and they're doing all kind of stupid things. But they also have foreigners living here who are abusing the system in Japan. Yes, they're abusing it. And so now they're looking at foreigners like, "Hey, well, why are you even here? What do we need you for?" That kind of thing, right? And that's not fair to people like me and my other friends who are foreigners living here in Japan. It's not fair at all because we contribute a lot. In fact, we contribute more to we contribute more to the society than most Japanese. You know, so that's my play is that's what I would be saying. I'll say, "Hey, so what are you trying to say?" You know, I'm trying to bring up my chats here. Let me see here. They got some chat viewing options, and I just want to bring up a chat so I can say something. I want to say something. Maybe I can say something too. I don't know what's not coming up. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But yeah, that's what I want to say. So when you come to Japan, here's what I want to tell you. If you run into a situation to where you feel like this Japanese person does not want you to be in Japan, don't panic. They can't hit you. They won't hit you. Most Japanese won't. I got attacked in Kabukicho because that woman literally thought I was somebody that she knew. But they don't know you. They're not going to come up to you and just start punching you in the face or treating you bad. And who cares what they say? I've got my skin is thick. I've figured out a way. My video keeps falling down. I figured out a way to basically ignore people when they try to say something stupid here in Japan. I just ignore them. I don't worry about them. I just blow them off because I'm living a good life over here in Japan. My family's well. We got our health. I don't have to go outside my house every 15 minutes. I'm very comfortable in my home. So they can say whatever they want outside my doors. I could care less. Because they can't hit me. They can't come in my house. They can't bother nobody in my family. So that doesn't bother me at all. So if they want to hate, they can hate. So I just want to tell you guys, just be aware of that. Just be careful especially when you're living here. And just remember, if you're a foreign resident living in Japan, you contribute a lot. Now, I do want to say one more thing about some numbers here. I ran some numbers today because I was kind of curious. And because now they're saying we have almost 4 million foreign residents living in Japan. Of those 4 million, over 900,000 are living on a permanent residency, which is what I'm trying to get. 900,000 are permanent residents. And so I did some digging. I said, well, how many of us are living here on a spouse visa? And they said I think it's as of July of 2024, there's 150,000 people here living in Japan on a spouse visa, meaning married to a Japanese national. Now, the other ones that they said are people who are married to a permanent residence, but not a Japanese national, but so they're living on a visa for permanent residence, is about 41,000 people. See? So the numbers are really low, guys. And trust me, the numbers are low. There's not a lot of us living here in Japan, as you think, especially Americans. An American, like I said, are really low. I remember seeing what I said, saw some number of like 60,000 Americans, 66,000 Americans as are foreign residents in Japan, excluding the military bases. Those numbers are really low. We got some really low numbers. So that's why people keep looking at me and they go, well, damn, there must be a lot of Americans, must be a lot of Americans. There's not a lot of Americans here. So that's why I tell you to get here and set yourself up. This is a great country to settle down in. It's safe, it's clean. You see my last video I did, my last live video, which I need to watch anyway because it was exciting. I just haven't had the time to look at it yet. But you got to check it out, and check out Japan, because it is really a wonderful country to live in. Despite all the crap, it's still a great place to live. So with that being said, I'll let you guys go. I just wanted to update you guys on the political situation and on the so-called hatred that's going around. But keep in mind, there's a lot of Japanese that are against that because they know that Japan needs to stay international. They want an international Japan. Most Japanese do not want to be isolationists. Most Japanese don't want to treat foreigners that way. All right? So I'll let you guys go. This is BSP. I'm out. I'll talk to you later.